And splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth.
The stranded NASA astronauts that Joe Biden refused to rescue arrived back on Earth yesterday, and it was amazing. I mean, I teared up a little bit. Thank you, Elon Musk. Thank you, President Trump. I'm going to show you guys some things you probably haven't seen yet. Let's go. How's it going, guys? David Medina here. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications like always. Follow me on social media at David Medina PDX. Really appreciate all my new followers and subscribers, man. We're going to keep growing this thing. I actually just heard, yesterday, I just got the confirmation that Trending Politics News, if you aren't following them on YouTube or on X or on Instagram, they actually made me an offer to come film content in San Diego once a month, and we're going to start that next April, so I'm really excited about that. So a lot of good, exciting things happening. We got Prison Mike here. If you haven't watched The Office, you're not going to get this shirt, but Prison Mike, one of the most epic shows in The Office. So if you're wondering what that is, I'm just kind of feeling beat down today. I'm kind of feeling like under the weather. I'm just feeling like meh today, right? Got like 4 hours of sleep, and you know, it's all my fault because we're humans and we're idiots, and that's why we need God. That's why we need God's grace. Speaking of God, these astronauts that were stranded by the Joe Biden administration. I don't know if you guys followed that story, but these NASA astronauts have been stranded in space. They something about the orbit. They went out of orbit and they were unable to reach the International Space Station and come back home. So they've been stranded for almost a year, like 300 days. These guys, can you imagine just being up in space for 300 days, not knowing if you're ever going to come home or if you know, when you're going to come home? I mean, I'd be losing my mind. And these guys these astronauts, they actually confirmed. There was a video out there that confirmed that Joe Biden, they were obviously stranded during the Biden administration. Joe Biden actually received an offer from Elon Musk for these guys to go rescue these guys through Elon Musk's SpaceX program, because we all know SpaceX is just light years ahead of NASA, America's own space program, NASA, in so many ways. And Elon Musk offered to go rescue these guys, and Joe Biden said no for some reason. And there's a lot of misinformation out there where some of these liberals are going, no, that's not true. These liberals are going on NBC going, that's not true. Biden never abandoned them. These astronauts actually confirmed that themselves, that they didn't know why Joe Biden refused Elon Musk's help, but he did. That really happened. And so these guys were stranded for 300 days. And when, man, I just can't imagine how much relief so many people in this world felt when Trump won, including me, right? Being pardoned for J6 for my trespassing, atrocious crimes of J6. But also people like this that, and people like just across the world that were, and, people that need, other people that need to be pardoned, but people like this, that when America finally has strong leadership, people like this can count on, that administration coming through. And they did. This was the astronauts talking about their faith in Jesus. And I think that that God played a huge role in not only Trump's win, because God had mercy on our country, but I also think that God had a big role. And this made me smile. This was one of those stories yesterday where I was just like, it just made me so happy. I had so much joy because you saw God. There's stories that you see God in the stories. You just see God's fingerprints and hand on certain stories. And this, from beginning to end, this story was one of those stories because these astronauts had faith, and listen to them talking about their faith.
We're all the product of our life experiences, and this extended business trip of yours certainly qualifies. What is your life lesson or takeaway from these 9 months in space? Well, in answer to your question, I can tell you honestly, my feeling on all of this goes back to my faith. It's bound in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He is working out his plan and his purposes for his glory throughout all of humanity, and how that plays into our lives is significant and important. And however that plays out, and I am content because I understand that. I understand that he's at work in all things. Some things are for the good. Go to Hebrews chapter 11. Some things look to us to be different.
This is the NASA astronaut, man, talking about Jesus Christ, talking about his faith. I mean, that is like amazing. And you know what? Now it makes sense why they didn't lose their minds and why they have had so much peace, because their faith was growing through these trials. And that's why when you have trials in your life, Let the trials come and embrace them, because that's where your faith grows. If you let it, if you don't succumb to the pressure and just shut down, and you actually draw closer to your faith, that's where you grow your faith, right? And that's exactly what happened here. And that's what happened to me in the last 4 years as I was going through mental torture of the thought of going to prison and when I was arrested and my house was raided and going through divorce and everything that's happened to me in the last 4 years, man. I grew so much in my faith, and that's what kept me grounded, man. That and David Goggins. Well, God's also working through David Goggins as well. But man, this was the moment that prayers were answered, and this was the moment that these 3 astronauts were boarding and this is just such a great show of like international unity as the other, I think these are Russian astronauts, correct?
Yeah, I think there was a Russian, Asian one, and then like another American, I believe.
Just an Asian, just one of the Asians. Producer Vlad's here, by the way, today. Hey. Sorry, Producer Vlad, I forgot to introduce you in. But anyways, you see the 3 astronauts arriving at the International Space Station and being embraced by the other astronauts of the world. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Oh man, can you imagine? This is
the first Crew 10 astronaut through the hatch.
Just makes you want to cry, man. With so much stuff going on in this world, you have so much stuff going on in this world, and you have. Wait, is this the right? This is the video of them.
Nicole Ayers, the first of the Fly's newest class of astronauts to enter, and last commander.
I'm gonna trust producer Vlad here. Elon didn't have to do it. This is the moment that SpaceX rescued NASA astronauts Biden left stranded. And then this was the video that now a lot of people have already accused this of being AI, not real. And if you see it in HD, it does look kind of like, but that's only because the camera they were using here, the drone, whatever they were using, the frame rate, they turn the frame rate on so high. And if you go on your iPhone or any phone and you turn your frame rates to like 120 frames or 60 frames and you move your phone around, it looks like the motion is so smooth that it looks fake. And that's kind of what was happening here. Now you probably won't see it in this clip just with the quality of this.
The Dragon spacecraft.
But this is those 3 astronauts arriving back on Earth for the first time in 300 days, man.
Stand by for splashdown, located in the Gulf of America, off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
I love that. I mean, so fitting. Gulf of America, American astronauts landing home, President Trump, Elon Musk.
And splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth.
Oh. I mean, it's just one of those like great American moments that just make you tear up. I'm tearing up right now, and I don't care who sees it. I'm happy with my masculinity. I'm not a sissy. I'm not like Harry Sisson out there hitting up 11 chicks at a time. I used to be like that, but I'm not like that anymore. I'm not doing that. I'm masculine, and sometimes masculine, man, we show our feelings, and we're okay with it. I'm okay with it. I don't care who's watching. Get off my back. This is a great American moment where, I mean, just that like welcome home, you know, and you got American astronauts that were stranded that were rescued, and they're splashing into the Gulf of America, the newly named Gulf of America. And these guys were rescued by Elon Musk and President Trump.
SpaceX Freedom, splashdown. Good main release.
Oh man, I can't wait for the movie on this one. They're definitely going to make a movie on this. And then again, like I said, just the fingerprints, the handprints of God. I mean, it's either that or Elon Musk went and found like sharks with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads. Have you seen Austin Powers, Vlad? Yeah, okay. Well, Vlad didn't get me a good reaction, so I didn't think he saw the movie. I thought you'd like that one. But they were dolphins. There were dolphins that like did Elon Musk just go buy a bunch of dolphins from SeaWorld and just like release them around this pod or what? Like, this can't be real. That dolphins literally surrounded this pod to greet these stranded, now rescued astronauts. I mean, this was so cool, man. This was like, again, the fingerprints, the handprints of God.
Free
man.
vessel, and that is where our Crew 9 team members will egress from the Dragon spacecraft. Now, here on your screen, we can see dolphins, actually, who want to come and play with Dragon. Now, one of the fast boats there in place, working to assist the recovery team member.
I mean, just imagine how big that ocean is, right? Imagine how big the Gulf of America is. And like like imagine like how much empty ocean there is, and it just happens to be a spot where dolphins sensed the pod or saw it or whatever. I don't know. And then they went over and swam and just circled it just to say hi to these assholes. I mean, just you can't tell me God's not real. Come on, man. You can't tell me that this was just coincidence and this wasn't the Lord showing himself, revealing himself through nature like this, through his creation. It's just unbelievable, man. And then these were the, gosh, can you imagine? This was the video of all the astronauts coming out of the pod and being helped out of the pod because, you know, if you know anything about space, and I'm an astronomy nerd. I love astronomy. I love everything space. I've studied it. I've studied planets. I studied it in college like a nerd. I studied it outside of college. I still study that kind of stuff today. The makeup of the stars and the planets and the solar systems and just the galaxy and how it operates. And I just love this, man. And I nerd out on this stuff. But imagine just being in a setting where you don't have gravity, you know. Yeah, most of the time, right? There's sometimes I believe where they have like a feature where they can turn on like a kind of like a gravity thing where they can feel it a little bit. I don't know if that's all the way accurate, but for the most part, these guys have not been able to walk on their own 2 feet under actual 100% gravity in 300 days, which is why they're having to be helped off. And which is why they're like little newborn babies and they're having to be helped and they're like wobbly. They're like little baby deers because those muscles haven't been activated fully like this in a very long time. So really interesting to see that. Man, I just can't imagine what they've been through, man. Look at this. This is so great. I guess one of them was Russian, right? One of the astronauts was Russian. I forgot. So I said 3. Let me correct that. I said 3 American astronauts. I think it was 1 Russian and 2 Americans, right? Just awesome. Oh my gosh, just such a sight to see. And you see Trump here, you know, talking about how President Trump just gave Elon Musk a huge shout out for rescuing the stranded astronauts. He said, when I got into office, I said, Elon, we got to get him out of there. I mean, that was his #1 priority. I mean, listen to him.
Because of Elon Musk, everything he did with SpaceX that those astronauts.
Hey, Laura Ingraham was kind of chippy with Trump yesterday. I don't know if you saw other clips of this, but she was pressing him pretty hard, especially about Canada. I was like, whoa, I was thinking that Trump was about to lose it on her, man. She was pretty feisty with him.
Astronauts stranded for 9 months. They're finally coming home. Mr. President, your reaction to what's unfolding?
So when I came in office, I said, Elon, we got to get them out. Do you have a rocket ship handy? How many people have a rocket? Oh, and Biden left them up. He abandoned them. You know, we could have done this sooner.
This guy hates
Biden. But Biden didn't want to because he was embarrassed by what happened. So they were up there. They were supposed to be there for a few days. They were there for many months. And now they're coming back. But think of it. Elon's able to do that with his genius. And you have people that hate it.
All right. And then Elon Musk reveals the Biden administration turned down his offer to get the stranded astronauts home sooner. It was rejected for political reasons, says Elon Musk. Listen to this.
I'm only going to ask you one political question, just for clarification purposes only. I don't think this should really be a political night. I think this is, you know, a moment where the country should celebrate the fact that you were able to rescue them, that it happened successfully in spite of the difficulty, the challenges, and the danger. But I just want to clarify on the issue of whether or not you had offered to send this rocket to space to rescue these astronauts sooner to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I heard somebody earlier today say, in fact, that didn't happen when I believe it did.
No, we definitely offered to return the astronauts earlier. There's no question about that. The astronauts were only supposed to be there for 8 days, and they've been there for almost 10 months.
Wow.
So obviously that doesn't make any sense. SpaceX could have brought the astronauts back after a few months at most.
You know, when you hear this guy talk like right now, you kind of forget sometimes that he's a super genius, because how he's presenting himself right now and how he's talking is like the Elon Musk that we've all known, but like he's been wilding out this past like year, especially going after Trump. And he's like on the stage, like all jumping up and down and like being a kid and like impregnating like 47 women, and he's got like you know 100 kids out there, and you know this guy is like you know and some of the troll comments that he says, but you forget that he is like literally like probably the smartest dude on the earth.
And we made that offer to the Biden administration. It was rejected for political reasons, and that's just a fact.
Wow. You know, and it's really weird that Biden would would decline that, because, you know, even if you have Elon Musk to go get them, it still happened under your administration, right? And then you're just giving all the glory to Trump. So who knows? I mean, Biden probably didn't even know about these astronauts. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he didn't know anything about them.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't know anything about the pardons, apparently. That's what Trump said, because he said those pardons were signed by AutoPen, and Biden never saw them. So who knows what he knew about.
He probably saw that video of the thing splashing down. He's like, I'll be damned.
They're back from the moon.
I'll be damned.
The moon landing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Buzz Aldrin, you're back.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'll be damned. Calls the hero who literally saved his fellow astronauts, a 12-year-old. Then he goes on record, puff up, and portray himself as a god. He's a 5'5", 155 wimp. Okay, I'm not even going to spend time on this because this is a good story. I'm not going to ruin it with horrific liberal takes. Federal judge orders astronauts to be returned to space station. That's so funny because all the federal judge blocking all of the stuff that Trump's trying to do right now, including keeping men out of women's sports. That's a pretty good troll from the Babylon Bee there. The stranded astronauts who have been in space since before the election being told that they are landing in the Gulf of America. Dude, that's actually really funny. Like, what? What kind of president leaves 2 astronauts stranded in space? Yeah, I don't know, man. It wasn't Biden. It was his handlers. He wasn't in charge. It was unbelievable that Joe Biden left them up there for 8 months just because he hated Elon Musk. I mean, I hate to make this political, guys, but at the end of the day, we're just calling it out for what it is. And we don't know why Biden or whoever was in charge during his 4 years or last 2 years, we don't know why they did some of the stuff they did. I mean, we're just, at the end of the day, you know what? Whatever. That's why he got bounced out of, that's why he got bounced. That's why we rejected Kamala. That's why Trump got a second term. That's what we need to take away from this. We need to be happy about Trump's back, baby, and we're doing stuff like this. Like, how could you be against this? Even if you hate Elon Musk, even if you hate Trump, how could you not see that yesterday and celebrate? I mean, I commented on the Oregonian's post on Instagram yesterday. They didn't even mention the Oregonian, the biggest publication in Oregon that portrays itself as on a non-bias. But we all know they're leftist bias. They're only blocking conservatives on X. They didn't mention SpaceX or Elon once on their Instagram post. Not once. It was actually crazy. I almost want to show it to you. I might actually show it to you. I'm going to show it to you real quick. I'm going to show you what I wrote. Because this is what I'm talking about. Like, why? How could you not be happy at, like, something like this, a great American story of innovation of SpaceX, of these astronauts, these American astronauts, nonpartisan, that were rescued. How could you go and make a post like this? NASA astronauts return to Earth after 9 months. Stuck in space no more. NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams returned to, she's not a Sunni, she's Shiite, to Earth on Tuesday, hitching a different ride home to close out a saga that began with a bungled test flight more than 9 months ago. Literally hitching a different ride home. Not one mention of SpaceX. Now, they had to mention SpaceX up here because they had to credit it for the video. And I said to them, you guys are supposed to be a news outlet that shares what's going on. How can you leave out Elon and SpaceX, which is pivotal information of how these astronauts were able to safely return home after being stranded by the Biden administration? This horrific show of bias, and all of you at the Oregonian should be ashamed. And then you have one idiot here that goes, this isn't even a political issue. Do you know how Boeing did the test? Did you know Boeing did the testing? Or who at NASA made the call? Literally has nothing to do with politics. Just people are just clueless, dude. They're so clueless. They're so clueless. I don't want to give myself a heart attack right now, but it's just like, how can you not be happy about this as an American? I don't care if you hate Elon or Trump. How can you not be happy? It's crazy. Like and subscribe to the channel. I didn't want to end on an angry note. We're not going to end on an angry note. This is a great story. We're happy for it, and Jesus came through Elon Musk and President Trump. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. I'm really trying not to lose my cool here. At Dave Medina PDX across all social media. If you don't mind hitting that follow. Appreciate you guys. Hey, thank you for being with me. I hope you're doing good, and we'll see you on the next video.